What is up, fight fans? We are here. It's the pilot episode of Party Shot. Obviously, not the start we actually wanted to get, but we'll figure out rescheduling Marc. But we got a friendly Philadelphia hooligan with me. We got the Grizzly Bear here, Mr. Lex Ludlow. Lex, how we feeling this evening, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Just like I said to you right before we started this, I just drank I want to say it's not Bang, bro. It's bucked up, dude. Because we're bucked up. We're bucked up, dude. We're all.
Well, let's get bucked up and let's have some fun, brother.
All right, sorry.
so actually, me and you've actually known each other a while. Like I've been doing kind of media type stuff for just about as long as you've been freaking throwing your hands around. So it's I'm glad I'm getting to talk to you before you're making your BKFC debut here. How many days is it now, my friend?
13 days, dude.
How you feeling, man? It's a different animal, right? Obviously, getting ready for bare knuckle compared to doing MMA or just boxing or if you're doing a grappling event or whatever. How do you feel getting ready for BKFC is kind of differentiating from how you would normally prepare for your MMA fight?
Gotta get my steaks in here, man. Listen.
Wait, no, I told you to at least go like that so we can at least see it. There you go.
You can see me?
Yeah, there you go. We got you.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna cut my steaks as I say this. I prepare for everything the same way, dude. I just don't think about it, man. I don't think about it till the night before, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fighting tomorrow. And yeah, that's how we rock, dude. I training wise, I train the same. I just do a little bit more boxing. I hit pads bare knuckle. I hit the bag bare knuckle. And yeah, that's pretty much it, brother. I try not to like overplay this stuff in my head too much, because when I overplay it in my head, that's when I feel like I don't perform or fight as good. Because like when I fought Cam Graham, I was like, oh, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And then when I went out there and fought him, it was completely different. So I just I watch the tape. I get an idea of how they're going to move. I get an idea of what to expect. But then, I just kind of go out there and fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it's going to be a little bit different, but we'll see how everything goes. But I mean, we all go about things how we feel we're going to perform at our best when you're going out there. So
I got a question for you. Have you ever did an interview where a guy's cutting steak?
Never. Never, my friend. It's definitely a first for me.
I'm the grizzly bear, dude. I gotta get my carnivore on. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah. So, is this the first time at heavyweight? Is we're just packing on weight for this one?
No, this was so my return fight. Last April was at heavyweight, and then I was supposed to make my 205 debut in November, but that guy backed out. And then I had to fight Cam Graham at heavyweight. I took that fight at 212 pounds, my friend. And then I fought in West Virginia about 3 weeks ago, I think, or like somewhere around that. I fought that at 205, and then now I'm going to fight at heavyweight because BKFC wanted me to fight at heavyweight.
So what are you most looking forward to when you get in there?
When I get in there, just blood, lots of blood, lots of I don't know, dude. Like, I really feel like I don't know. Like I always overplay that stuff in my head, dude. I always think I'm gonna get busted up real bad, and I'm like, man, like I'm gonna be bleeding everywhere. And then I mean, probably for this one, just because it's bare knuckle, but it's just I just kind of tend to overplay everything in my head. Like that's why, like I said, like I don't really like think much about it. Like the night before, like I'll be like, oh my god, I'm fighting tomorrow, and I'll like cry for a little bit, but then like literally, like I'll be like, oh my god, but then like I wake up and I'm like, all right, just another day in the office.
This is the second one in Philly. How bad were you wanting to try to get on Knuckle Mania?
I didn't think it was an option because I didn't do tryouts. They reached out to me, my friend. They called me and they were like, hey, like basically what happened was Nate Shook called me and Nate Shook says, he goes, hey man, at the Knucklemania one at Wells Fargo, he goes, I had like a bunch of people come up to me and reach and tell me that I should like check you out and you should be in BKFC and stuff like that. And I was like, really? Like that's insane. And then he offered me a contract and yeah, now here we are talking to you, dude.
Hey man, that's awesome. You know, gonna be at the arena. How fun is that place?
I haven't fought there in a long time, but I went there and cornered my buddy there, and it really does give you the old school like ECW vibes. You know what I'm saying when you're there. So you know, I'm a big pro wrestling fan, so I'm very excited for it. But I try, like I said, I try not to overthink that stuff because it just puts me in a bad spot mentally. So I just try to stay positive, dude, and I try to just live in the present as much as I can. I try not to live in the future, bro. And I definitely don't like to live in the past anymore. So what I do, bro, is I just hang out in the present, dude. But I was looking forward to Marc Coleman, dude.
Yes, yeah, I was looking forward to it too, my friend. You know, sometimes you set these things up and you know, guys space out the time, things of that nature. Actually, speaking of which, hold on, let me see. I see there's a text message from him.
He's texted you? Dude, we got to ask him how big his
he had a pro wrestling gig today. He thought it'd be over, but now it just got over. He's driving home. I'm willing to do driving if you want.
Yeah, tell him yes, 100%. We got to ask him how big the hammer is. Dude, if this guy gets on here, he's going to love me. Oh my God, dude. I'm geeking out right now, dude.
Okay, let's see if that works out for you.
Dude, if he comes in here, I'm just like, what if he just comes in here just freaking out, dude? Just goes nuts.
Pro wrestling fan. So, what do you watch any of the current stuff, or is
just on like reels? Just on reels. I don't like go out of my way to watch that anymore. You know what I mean? It's hard to sit through, dude. I don't even really watch TV. Like, bro, I'm literally like after I'm done talking to you, I'm gonna sit right there and I'm just gonna stare at nothing. Like that's what I kind of do. I stare at my phone and I just like watch reels and stuff. But like it's hard to get behind anything nowadays, bro. Like everything's just so like sensitive and weird and like you got to feel bad about everything and it just sucks. It just sucks. You can't even watch a movie without feeling bad about yourself now. You know what I mean? And if you can take the hint, you could get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, dude. I'm trying to debate. Listen, Steve, I'm trying to debate if I want to use this, right? Or if I want to use A1 sauce. Now, let me ask you this, Steve. Okay. When you eat steak, what do you use?
I mean, you have to have like a little rub to kind of put on it and whatever, you know, whatever if you're like a barbecue flavor to it or not, or anything like that. You know, so everyone kind of has their own little taste how they want to like kind of season it and put kind of you know, put a nice little thing and you know, kind of let it soak for a good, you know, half hour, start cooking that thing. But the question is how well do you like yours cooked? Do you like it bleeding, bro?
Oh yeah, look at that, buddy. Like this one I cooked a little longer because Will Martinez says I'm like eating them raw pretty much. So I post all my steaks on my Instagrams and stuff. And I got people sending me steaks. They're like, I'll be cooking it because I cook in tallow. I cook in beef tallow. I try to be as healthy as I can, brother. And Will Martinez just challenged me to a cook-off, my friend. Listen, I will wipe the floor with Will Martinez in a steak tallow.
So you're challenging your coach there
I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it. He can't stop my stakes, and he can't stop my single leg takedown. How about that? How about that?
I think Will's got more in the tool bag than.
Nah, dude, he is a little savage when it comes to straight arm locks. Let me tell you that. All right, he knows my weakness, but I always say to him, because we grapple on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. So like when I'm in there on a Monday, I go, prepare to get double leg, my friend. Prepare to get double leg. And he goes, yeah. You know. But listen, I will cook him under the floor. You understand me? Is Coleman coming in here? You're getting excited about something. I see it on your face, pal.
I've seen someone commented. So
who this guy? Let's go. Oh, people can write in here?
Yeah, if you're on like Facebook or YouTube or whatever, yes, it looks like a Facebook comment. So I hope
people can write them.
See if Marc actually got the message back. No,
it's all right. He'll be all right. Coleman's a UFC Hall of Famer.
I did see it. He was at a wrestling event with Mick Foley.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him.
You're not a Mick Foley fan?
Yeah, you're gonna feel bad for yourself whenever you're around that guy. You know what I mean? Guy deleted X because of freedom of speech. It's an insane thing, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm still on my X, dude.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. Everybody. Well, I don't even have X. I guess I have no room to talk to.
Wait, you're giving Foley crap for it. You don't have it yourself. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, man. Well, listen.
Well, I mean, if you're fighting for BKFC, you got to start at least a little something one. You know what I mean? Well,
my opponent, listen to this. You'll like this. My opponent followed me on Instagram and liked the picture of me and my girlfriend. So I got super like insecure. So I went on his Instagram and there was no women on there. So I just assumed he was, meh. So but I saw a picture of a kid. So I just liked it out of spite because I didn't know what else to like. So I don't know. That might like go the wrong way. Like it might seem like, wrong things, but I was just insecure. So I liked something. That was all.
Oh man, brother.
Oh, I can't wait to see him at weigh-ins. I can't wait. Can't wait to see him. I'm going to make fun of him. I'm just going to make fun of him. Well, he's just, dude. Listen, I was 322 pounds. I understand. You let yourself go. You know what I mean? But I just got one question for him. When's the last time you seen your own penis? You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you even saw it, dude? You know what I mean? You can't be sitting there talking crap. Dude, he gets punched in the face and smiles. What is he smiling about? He hasn't seen his pecker in years. There's nothing to smile about. It's all right.
Oh, man.
It's all right. We'll figure it out, him and I. We'll figure it out. I'm sitting down now, dude.
So I won't give you don't like to look into the future. So hypothetically, you win on the 21st, right?
Yeah.
What? How would you like to play it then?
Oh, I see. You mean like if they offer me a multi-fight deal? Well, I mean that's on the cards, my man. That's what they told me they want to do, right? So they offer me a multi-fight deal. I gotta say, hey, listen. I'd be like, hey, listen. Pay me a little bit more money and I'll sign it. That's what I'd say. That's exactly what I'd be like. I got 4 kids, Nate. I need to pay my bills. That's what I would say, and then I'd sign it. And I have a big name I'm going to call out, and I really want to tell Marc Coleman about it off air. So we got to get him in here because this one's for you, Mr. Coleman. This one's for you, my friend. When I beat Connor McKenna, I'm going to have the craziest call out of 2025. And that's a fact. I'll tell you about it off air, but I'm not spoiling it for anybody. You got to be there.
You don't got to spoil it for everyone. Leave a little teaser out there, but definitely looking forward to seeing you get in there and things of that nature. Want to get your overall thoughts on just the landscape of what combat sports is. I mean, it's crazy where we were 8 years ago where there's superstars everywhere. And Ariel Wani made a comment recently that he feels like the UFC's getting to a point where there might be in a little trouble because they're lacking some star power, I guess he would say. Do you feel that's a fair assessment to what's going on in just MMA in general right now?
I just feel like they probably feel like they don't have to make anybody because everybody watches regardless. You know what I mean? But they just need me in there. That's all it is. They just need me. And I'm not saying like I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm built for TV, my friend. I'm just built for TV. Like Marc Coleman. If Mr. Coleman and I were to fight, like, listen, in his prime, he's the scariest man alive, right? He was a scary dude. But as Ric Flair said, you got to fake it till you make it. I would tell Mr. Coleman he absolutely sucks. But Mr. Coleman is one bad dude, man. Imagine running in the house during a fire and saving your family. That's insane, dude. I wanted to commend him on that.
I mean, you got to think right before that, he got clean. He was getting ready for a fight. He was had a problem. His hip broke and things of that nature. And then, as he was getting ready for that, there was some stuff he was. He was telling me about it. He was lucky enough that he was staying with his parents that night because, like, I guess he had a tough workout and just passed out there to be there when it had to even be there when it happened. Because if not, they probably would have never made it out.
Right? Didn't he save their dog too?
No, he didn't. He went back in for the dog. The paramedics had to rip him out of there because he went back in for the dog, and he had
knowing that dude, he probably beats himself up. He's like, man, I wish I would have got the dog.
Yep.
Darn, man.
But he did get another dog. He did get another Rottweiler, and that keeps him company.
He's got a Rottweiler. My dad's got that's all my dad buys is Rottweiler.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is this is obviously the second one. He's has the kind of a similar personality from what I've seen from his posts and stuff like that. So
what, me and him?
No, him and the dog, the dog that he has.
I was about to say, I'll fly to Ohio right now.
Mark's a good dude. He probably would have you fly down. Guys.
I wanted to offer him to come here and walk me down to the ring.
Got to make it happen. I'll ask him to I'll shoot him if it's cool if I shoot him your number so you can talk.
Yeah, dude, shoot him my number and listen. I won't call him every day. I'll just call him every other day. Nah, I won't bother him. He seems like a great dude.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more genuine dudes. I wanted to get his thoughts on what he thought about Pereira. He made a post about both Pereira and Gagey earlier.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's. I think Alex is like literally one of Alex, Justin Gagey, and there's a couple other handful of guys are like one of the few people that are really pulling in for him right now.
Right.
Here's one for you. Obviously, your BKFC, Connor McKenna is like a good majority partner. One of the CEOs over there now. So, do you think he ever makes it back to the UFC, or do you just think he's going to let his contract expire?
I'm going to tell you exactly what they're doing. Okay. They got a TV rights deal coming up, right? How appealing is it when you say, I have Conor McGregor on my roster to a national broadcaster, right? If they don't have Conor McGregor, it kind of leaves them out a little way. Like you said, they don't really have stars. So that's what I really feel like they're leaning on him for this big negotiation. And I did read that Mark Shapiro, former WWE president, now TKO president, said that they're really thinking about getting rid of the pay-per-view model, which probably means they're going to go to Netflix.
Yeah, I did. I seen that not just that, even Dana said that that's on the table, that we're not going to see pay-per-view, and which that also means that Netflix will go up again because it just went up to like almost $30.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could do whatever they want, right? Like they kind of own the market.
If you think about it, cable's almost irrelevant anymore. Outside of watching, like if you're watching football or if you're watching baseball, like if you're watching the major four sports, obviously you have to have like some type of cable package.
Imagine watching football. Do you watch football, Steve?
Obviously.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Were you?
football. I watch
Well,
football the most.
Well, obviously, look at your background. I didn't even notice it. What kind of hat you got on there, pal?
It's a regular Super Bowl hat.
My God! Listen, I won't include you in this. I'll pretend. But I've been doing a bunch of interviews, bro, and I've just been trashing Philadelphia, dude. I've been trashing.
How do you living in? How do you live in Levittown area, and you're over here smashing on the Eagles? What's going on? What's with the Eagles? Hey, what happened?
Listen, I got a buddy, right? Good friend of mine. I say to him, he always buys tickets. I say to him, I go, hey, I'm playing for BKFC. Would you like to come? He goes, absolutely. I sent him the ticket prices. He goes, oh, I can't afford this. I said, but you can post about the Eagles every day? You can support the Eagles, a multi-million-dollar, maybe even billion-dollar franchise, but you can't support the guy that is trying to keep the lights on to his house. So ever since then, I hate them. I hate everything they stand for.
So because your buddy is being more Jewish than I am.
Are you Jewish?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God, I'm scared now.
But
you see my eyebrow? You see my eyebrows raise up, dude?
Oh man.
All right. So what were you saying?
But I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, if he's going to sitting there going to games and consistently, like if he's like, buying merch and who's doing this and who's doing that, then yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. But if it's just an extension of one of your buddies, just like, like saying, oh, I really can't really help you out right now with.
No, listen. I'll tell you the real story of why the hatred for the Eagles. That was just so when he watches this, I could bust on him. I moved to Horsham. I moved to Hatboro, PA, the second greatest town in the world. First greatest town is Horsham, Pennsylvania. Voted the 17th nicest place to live, by the way, in America. Okay? I'm Levittown trash, but I always rep Horsham because who the heck wants to rep Levittown? Anywho, when I moved there, I was addicted to pro wrestling. I didn't grow up on football. I didn't grow up watching football. And all those kids made fun of me all the time. They bullied me. They bullied me over because I didn't watch football. And I watched fake wrestling. But now I challenge them because I think football is fake. I think the outcomes are fake. I think everything is predicted. And I think it's all one big scheme. So I should just start naming those kids, man, because I remember all their names, dude. It's crazy that I remember all those names, but I do remember all their names. But I should just start name dropping them and just calling them out and then tag them in this, but I won't do it because it would probably make them smile, and I don't want them to smile because I wasn't smiling in 2002.
I don't get bullying you for that. I mean, like, I get, like, because at that time, like, wrestling that wasn't as big as it is now.
Right.
I mean, but you got to think during that time, it was still like, that was the meat and potatoes of the Attitude Era.
Well, everybody in my school, it was kind of when, like, you remember when wrestling was like really, really popular in '99?
Mm-hmm.
And then it started to fade out a little bit after they bought WCW because, like, the Ruthless Aggression era kicked in. Like, yeah. I stuck around after the Attitude Era, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people fizzled out.
Yeah.
So
I'm one of them.
Yeah. So I mean,
like I lost the beginning of John Cena and all that, and
Yeah, you missed out on some great wrestling, man.
Randy Orton and them guys.
Yeah. Like, if you really watch back at the Attitude Era, it's not really even that great. Like they're giving bursts of like hands, like rubber chickens and stuff. It was like really weird.
It was.
Like,
it was.
And then, like, people were like, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, they're all, like, cheering for it. I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, what? And then, like...
Seriously, if it wasn't for Stone Cold and Rock, it was bad.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But also, like, I really like early 90s wrestling. Like, Macho Man, like like
Ultimate Warrior,
like Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect. I can go on and on and on. I really like the gimmicks back then. But then when I was a kid, like, because in 2002-ish, that's when they like were more geared like towards wrestling. Like I was watching a lot of like SmackDown. So like Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle were on there wrestling because I was wrestling like as a kid. So
yeah.
that's kind of what kept me hooked. But then in like 2010, I was like, oh god, this is god awful, and I stopped watching.
And that's when combat sports came into your life.
You're 100% right. Well, Brock Lesnar got me into it
because of the switch. Now, what do you feel about that time of era of MMA too? This is what we were kind of alluding to. Like that era is kind of like the golden era. That's what there was just so many guys that were entertaining to watch. It didn't matter if they were champions or whatever. It was fun to tune in and watch those cards. There's almost loaded almost every one of them.
It was just like the Attitude Era. So the Attitude Era, everybody was a star. I mean, you had Scotty 2 Hotty hitting the worm and the whole entire crowd going crazy. Most of those people nowadays would kill for a reaction in pro wrestling for that, right? Just for doing the worm. That guy had everybody on their feet going crazy, right?
And it was
now
the stupidest elbow ever.
Yeah, the stupidest thing in the world, right? So then you take UFC, for example. Well, not for example, but you take UFC. They had like all these stars. Like I remember like Spencer the King Fisher was like a big name, right? And that dude was getting beat by like, you know, like I'm friends with him on Facebook. I don't know him, but you know, it's not like he was like a contender or anything like that. You know what I mean? But like he was just a big name at that time. I don't know where. I think what happened, bro, is too many fighters. Too many fighters. Like you got what, like probably like 150 each weight class. Like it's insane. Like I don't even know like how many people are in every weight class. But
I don't know. I think they have like at least like they're over like 300 fighters on the roster.
Yeah, it's just when I started watching 25 fighters, that was good. I could name you everybody at heavyweight back then, and everybody at light heavyweight, everybody at middleweight. It got too big. Like it's just too much. It's too hard to keep up with. It's not as bad as boxing. Boxing is the worst freaking sport to watch in the world.
Yeah, but didn't you hear those guys in Saudi Arabia are pretty much trying to do away with like what is wrong with boxing with all these weight classes and things like the stuff that surrounds like how the titles go and stuff like that. Like they're trying to actively trying to do something that has kind of ruined why people tune into boxing.
I mean, good for them, but the damage might be already done. It's god awful, dude. Like, I can name you like 3 boxers, dude. Tyson Fury, retired. Deontay Wilder, and that fat dude, Andy Ruiz, or whatever his name is.
You don't even know the bull here in Philly, Jaron Ennis? Seriously?
I don't even know who that is, dude. Oh, he could walk up right to my face, and I would have no idea who he is.
I thought you said you were a combat sports fan. What happened?
I'm more of just an MMA fan, but I don't even really watch that anymore, dude. It's just too much. It's too much to keep up with. I just do it. I just like to do it.
I mean, it is like to like if you're a fan consuming it's exhausting. I got to go here to watch this, and then I got to jump over to this app to watch that, and then all the pay-per-views on the night. Now I got to go pay for this, and you know that's another $60-$70. So it's like, and then like we were talking about, it's not like they don't have the the people that are exciting. Like, I mean, the Ultimate Fighter aren't tuning out the personalities like they used to.
Right.
And
I really feel like a lot back then, dude, like in 2000, like from 9 till like, I would say 2000, like 13 probably. Well, Connor got big, but it was pretty still interesting. But I really feel like a lot of those guys were like relatable. Right? Like, dude, they would show like a countdown video, dudes living in a freaking trailer park, going for a run, pit bulls are trying to like bite his ankles. Like,
Guys
It's
like,
just not
like when Joe Stevenson was coming up, like him, guys like him, right?
right. Like those guys. I like Joe Daddy Stevenson, bro. Good name drop, man. UFC 101. He fought in Philly. I think
Dude, that dude was just fun to watch. Everyone everyone was like, "Oh, he was just a wrestler," but I don't really feel like he was just a wrestler. Like if I remember, like isn't he like a Cobra Kai type dude?
I think he was a really good grappler.
That's one.
If you watched the Ultimate Fighter he was on, they did like a scarecrow challenge. It's on YouTube. Scarecrow, like, so basically, like me, I would stand there and I would spread my arms and my legs apart, and the guy jumps on your back and he goes up and around, up and around. Dude, he does it for like an hour straight. It doesn't hit the floor. Matt Hughes is like, you got to get a great time. You got to get a great time, man, or they're gonna beat us. Matt Hughes, man. Matt Hughes.
Not
Not
a
a Matt
Hughes
Hughes
fan.
Nah, not a Matt Hughes fan. Even though we're friends on Facebook, and he viewed one of my stories like a couple weeks ago. But Matt Hughes, not a Matt Hughes fan, dude.
I mean, one of the OG champs, but
I just hear bad things about him.
yeah, like I mean, from what I hear, like people like him as a person, like it isn't great, but like he's just the same thing as like not a lot of people care about Tito Ortiz, like
Oh, dude,
but we were
he's
talking
just
about like both of those guys were champions and they were personalities that people could relate to certain things from.
I like Tito, but he's just retarded. Like you watch like his stuff, he like the dude can't even like form a perfect sentence. He's like, it's like I was just watching it like an hour before. It's so funny because like it'd be funny if these guys watch this and they're just like, "Who is this guy?" But I don't care, dude. I really don't. I don't care what people think of me. Like he watched it, like the expression, like age is just a number. He's like, a number is just an age. Like he always like does stupid stuff like that. And I mean, it's and Dana White always comments, "My boy," like that's my boy. I mean, he is stupid, but he seems like a good guy though. Like he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like the Robbie Lawlers, the Diaz brothers, the Conor McGregors, they're all but disappearing. All right, where are these guys that are filling those personality holes?
They're trying to get people like Sugar Sean O'Malley, and Sugar Sean O'Malley, he's fun to watch. He's a great fighter, but he caters to like those weird YouTube kids. Like he's got
that is what mostly where the kids are these days are the YouTube kids.
like, how old are you, Steven?
44.
You're 44. Did you grow up in the Hulk Hogan era?
Yep, Hulk Hogan was like your first real superstar until I realized there was other sports. I'm like, oh, Mike Schmidt's around.
I don't know who Mike Schmidt is, dude.
Huh?
I don't know who Mike Schmidt is.
He was the Phillies Hall of Fame third baseman. He's like kind of, I would have to say, probably arguably the best MLB power hitting third baseman of all time.
Right.
So
and he's your favorite.
I mean, he's what he got me into baseball, where Randall Cunningham and guys like that got me intrigued in watching into football. Like that was like my era when I was I guess becoming a sports fan. Like Eric Lindros was my first real like superstar hockey player that you would watch. Like so. Allen Iverson's my first like watching like Hall of Fame type player here in Philadelphia. So like those are the guys that same thing like Hulk Hogan's the first one like the when I'm and when it comes to combat sports like you said Brock Lesnar's for you like for me like I remember watching the Ultimate Fighter 1 like I absolutely love watching Forrest Griffin steal the title from Rampage Jackson, but obviously Anderson Silva flattened him out like a bug here in Philadelphia. Like
were you there for that?
Yeah, I was there for that. Did not when I first saw it, I'm like thought it was a quick knockout, but when we went back and watched it, I'm like, oh yeah, he was bouncing Forrest's head off the mat like a like a beach ball.
I watched it on pay-per-view. That was like my first ever pay-per-view was UFC 98. Like the first one that I ever like watched entirely. And the first fight I ever watched was Brock versus Frank Mir 1.
Yeah.
At the UFC 81.
Now, let me ask you: Did watching Frank Mir do that make you want to learn jiu-jitsu?
No, it made me say this is stupid, and I didn't watch it for like another 20 pay-per-views. I said that's not real. I was like, Brock would kill him. I saw Brock Lesnar F5 the Big Show, and I was like, yeah, that's humanly not impossible that guy can do that to him. Bro, the first time I ever did jiu-jitsu, I went unconscious. I went out cold.
Who choked you out?
It was this guy. We're still Facebook friends. It was this guy. His name's Dallas Strachan. Now, I like Dallas a lot. He's a great dude, but unfortunately, the gym he trains at. So,
yeah, it was. I still feel the gym wars is quietly still going on in the Philadelphia area.
Well, this gym, you would never even hear about it. So it was a karate gym in Horsham, on Horsham Road by the Dairy Queen, and it literally said this. It said on the thing, it said karate, and then really tiny it said Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And my friend at the time, I wrestled all my life, so me and my friend at the time, we were like big UFC nerds, and I was like, dude, I always wanted to try jiu-jitsu. Like, I didn't ever like think when I watched UFC, I never thought like, hey, I want to be a UFC fighter. Like, I thought I always wanted to be a pro wrestler. So I go in there and I'm like, yeah, I just want to do a class. And I beat up some dudes like just by like the control and like my base and stuff like that. But this Dallas Strachan guy, great dude, by the way. Let's not take a hit on him. But he friggin' wraps his belt around my neck, like not even like a traditional like submission, and just tied me up. And I was like, I'm not tapping into this. So I just went out cold. And then I trained there for like on and off for like a year, but I was just too naive to realize like how stupid it was, because like the instructor was like a blue belt, and I was like, whoa, like yeah, because he's a like you know, jiu-jitsu was still kind of new, like so. But he would teach off flashcards, like, and he had 365 flashcards, and every time there was just a new move, and he would just shuffle the cards, and eventually I was just like, I came up to him and I was like, you know, I would really like to try to have a fight. And he was like, oh, well, you would need to learn striking for that. And like, I looked around and I'm like, well, where the hell am I going to learn it? Like, because it's a karate gym. And I was like, I was like, so would I learn it here? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And I was like, how much more is it to learn karate? And he's like, oh, another $120. Dude, I was paying for this myself. I was like 17, about to be 18 years old. This dude wants me to pay $240 to him a month. It was just stupid. Like, so I would just like gave up on that. And then I was going to wait till I graduated, and I was going to join Ring of Honor's wrestling school in Bristol. And then I was walking through Hatboro Main Street with the same guy and another buddy of mine, and I saw Paper Street Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was like, let's check this out. And I walked down there, and the guy's name was Jason Frawley. He sold it not too long ago, a couple of years ago, to my great friends Alex and Kyle Myers. Well, I don't think Alex owns it. I think Kyle owns it. But sold it to Kyle Myers, which is now Saga Jiu-Jitsu. But I go down there, dude, in the basement, and I'm like, yeah, like I trained a little bit. And Jay was a brown belt. And I'm like, but I want to be a pro wrestler. I was like, I'll learn it and I'll do it. But I was like, I'm going to go be a pro wrestler. And he's like, no, you're not. You're going to be a fighter. And I was like, no, I'm not, dude. I want to be a pro wrestler. And he's like, trust me. He's like, just try it and you're going to want to be a fighter. Sure enough, dude, I learned what real jiu-jitsu was, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, my goals and aspirations were still to be a pro wrestler, but I was just so obsessed with like how this tiny little 5'4" guy could tap me out. And I was like, if I can learn how to do what he's doing, I can only imagine what my size could do. And I mean, I'm still not great, but I'm okay. But like next thing I know, I'm hooked, and I never learned how to be a pro wrestler. So I got really addicted to the style, the life of it, man. It's very intriguing when somebody that tiny can do that to you, but not anymore. I don't let those tiny little guys get me anymore, dude. I'll pick them up and dump them on their head, Steven.
So you still having fun down there at Will's? Martinez is there on Cotman, right?
Yeah, dude. It's a great gym, dude. Everybody there is pretty good. Pretty good. Like there's no real easy goes. Like even when you're going with like not the beginners, but like the blue belts and stuff, like it's gonna be a tough go. You know, like we all go after it, we all go get it. But dude, like I'll tell you one thing, man. Training with them stinking Dawkins brothers every single day, dude, it's exhausting. It's tiring, dude. They just want to kill you all the time, and you're just like, dude, I just want to hang out and get a hoagie, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and those dudes are like, no, like, and they just like knock you out, senseless. Well, Chris doesn't do that. That's Kyle.
I was about to say because Kyle's still hungry. He thinks he should still be back in the UFC, right?
Oh, 100%, dude. Well, it's not that he should be. He's gonna be. But you know, Chris is still hungry too. Chris is there every day.
Yeah, but he's still a cop too, ain't he?
Mm-mm. I think he retired like 3 years ago. I think he retired when he got signed in the UFC, brother. A little after he got signed, because I think like you're eligible to retire like 15 years or something crazy. So he retired and just trains. Bro, me, him, and Kyle all live the same life. We're pretty much stay-at-home dads. I don't have a job. I do this full time. We're stay-at-home dads, and we just train all the time. You can't ask for a better life, brother. You really can't ask for a better life. Thank God for my wife working all these hours and killing herself all the time, being a nurse, taking care of people and wiping their butts and cleaning their noses. Or else I wouldn't be able to do this all the time because I got 4 kids, Steven. I got 4 kids. I got Presley, Ronan, I'm forgetting them, Grayson, and Aspen.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I definitely feel you there. Where like, you know, it's something we were talking about on my other shows. Like some of the best athletes you see in you know the best ones that have it are typically have are good families or married men. You know, it's family oriented guys that wind up being some of the top flight guys. They have to have that structure at home. They have to, and then
Well,
even more so what you're saying is like even my life too, like my other half is the one who balances me to keep does everything that needs to be done. She makes sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and make sure everyone's in line, make sure her kid's in line, my kid's in line. We got that they make us, brother.
yeah, they definitely keep us in check. I'll tell you that for sure.
Absolutely.
She told me, I was like, hey, you should watch the live. She's like my biggest fan, dude. Right? Like, I was like, hey, I was texting her. She's at work right now. I'm like, hey, I'm about to do this thing with Marc Coleman. She has no idea who Marc Coleman is. I've been talking about this for days, right? And right before we went live, I said, listen, I'm going to ask him how big his hog is. Is it because of the hammer, right? And she texted me. She's like, well, now I'm not watching it. So I bet you she's watching it. But got to give her a
Yeah, that's
shout
what
out.
mine's at work too, and that's probably when we were seeing like 3, 4 watchers up there, probably 2 of them were our other halves. I bet you.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's how it's got to be, dude. You don't have a good support system, you're not really going to go far in whatever you're doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I tell her that all the time. Like it's not what I can do; it's what we can do. We're a team. Everything we're
What's
doing.
What's your other show, bro?
It's a football podcast I do with JB and former Titans tight end Ben Troop.
How do you meet all these dudes?
Just on social media, just going back and forth, man. So
You're
how
like
I've
me.
always done it. I think it's funny because we were talking about like certain person off air, before we got on here. Like they always like to crack at me, like, "Oh, you're a fake media dude, and you don't do this, you don't do that. No one watches you, no one does." I'm like, "Yeah, but like I still talk to some of the best athletes around in the area. I talk to UFC.
Who says it? Who says it? Who says it?
You already know who we were talking about off air.
I was just trying to get it out of you.
Yeah, man. I don't need a name drop. You already know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's not. It's.
I don't breathe air into people's nonsense like that. I just laugh at them like, you don't even know what you're talking about. All right.
Listen. This is how fighting is, right? When I first started fighting, he's never going to win an amateur fight. I win an amateur fight. He's never going to win. He's never going to go on a win streak. I go on a win streak. He's never going to win the amateur belt. I win the amateur belt. He's never going to win a pro fight. I went 0-3, and then I came back and I won. Right? It took me a little while, but I won my pro fights, right? And then next, he's never going to be in a major promotion. Now I'm in a major promotion with a negative MMA record. Imagine that. I don't know how I did it, but I did it somehow. But it doesn't matter what they're saying, dude. It just matters what you believe in.
I look at it this way. When I was looking at you, I don't care about it. I see that you beat 2 coaches.
Who'd I beat?
Jim Brandero.
Retired
Yeah,
him.
But he's a coach, right?
Yeah, he's a good dude, but
Burke. Justin Burke.
He's still running his mouth about that fight. I don't know why. 10 years ago.
So I take it you're not cool with the NPR crew?
I don't hate anybody. They hate me, but I mean.
Well, no, I was curious because they literally was about to go to my next question. Did you see that Daniel Cormier is going to be doing a wrestling seminar up
I'm
at
happy for them.
Huh?
I'm happy for them. I don't wish any ill will. Like,
oh yeah.
But they just don't like me, and I mean, I never did anything. So I mean, besides talk crap to Justin Burke about his haircut 10 years ago when I was 21, and then went in there and laid on him for 3 rounds, just like I said I was gonna do. He's weird, dude. He still goes up to people like that I know, and he goes, "Hey, did you know Lex laid on me for 3 rounds? Just let it go, dude. Let it go. It was 10 years ago. I'll lay on you for another 3 rounds." Like, I just don't understand it. It's weird. Just let it all go. I hope they all do great. But I don't know. It's just weird. They're gonna see this too, and I really don't care because I'm just like tired of them like just bashing me all the time. It's so weird. So weird. Just let it go, man. Let it go.
You doing some else stuff for us, brother?
I just like with me and Justin, I ran my mouth a lot about him because he was apparently I don't really remember all the details, but I was at Revolution Academy at the time, and Anthony really wanted me to fight him because apparently he would go to the same barber shop and just that Anthony would go to, and he would just talk trash about Revolution. So when he was fighting this guy. Well, I called him a 13-year-old boy. He was fighting this man child, and I went to the commentary booth and I snatched the mic and I started talking crap about him as he was fighting. And then he was like backtracking. Like I was like, "Dude, I want to fight you." And he wanted me to fight B-Dot. B-Dot, dude, great dude, B-Dot. Amazing human being, right?
Love B-Dot.
I didn't know him at the time, but Anthony didn't want me to fight B-Dot, right? He wanted me to fight Justin Burke. Justin Burke didn't want the fight. He kept denying it and all this other stuff. So we were about to move on, and then finally he takes it. And like the whole thing with him was like, "You're not gonna fight B-Dot, bro. I didn't call you out. I didn't call B-Dot out. I called you out." So then he takes the fight, and dude, I was trolling this dude all the time, bro. I was messaging this dude. I'd be writing into it, like on his Facebook wall. I would write posts about him. And I just lived in this dude's head rent free. And I would tell him,
"You sure you're not a wrestler? Because you're sounding like a wrestler heel to me right now."
I am a heel though, bro. I'm a natural born heel, and I don't think that's like not something like a lot of these people understand. Like it's all this right here is me times 100. That's all it is. It's just like The Rock. The Rock's just himself times 100 when he's on TV. Same thing with Stone Cold. I'm just myself times 100. And I don't care if I break kayfabe. I'm just telling the truth, right? Because we're talking about something that's actually real. Because these people really don't like me, right? And what was I saying? So I go out there and I say to him, I say, listen, before I go out there, I go on Facebook. I'm like, I'll stand and trade with you. I'll stand and trade with you. I'll stand and trade with you all day long. But also in the countdown video, which you can go watch, which is still on Facebook, I say, I'm going to take you down as many times. I was like, all I need is one takedown. Dude, literally, I walked out there. I cut from 235 pounds to 185 pounds. Same day weigh-ins. Well, not a day before weigh-ins. Same day weigh-ins. That was the weakest I ever was for a fight. I walked out there and still took him down, right? He's telling me he's working out with now one of my good friends, Chucky Connor, all the time. He never worked with Chucky Connor. He didn't work with him one time. He didn't work on his wrestling at all. So I went out there, I took him down, and I laid on him for 3 rounds. I couldn't punch to the face. The day after the fight, he's DMing me. Let's fight in 2 weeks for CFFC. Let's fight for 2 weeks for CFFC. I'm like, bro, I just laid on you for 3 rounds. What do you want to fight again for? So then he would come to every one of my fights, right? This is so funny because I never talked about this publicly, right? He comes to every one of my fights after that, and he would just so happen I know he didn't do it on purpose, but he would just so happen to sit with all where my people would sit, right? And everybody knew that I fought him, and he'd be like always cheering for the other guy, like he'd be like talking crap on me, like cheering for the other guy. Oh, it's great. I loved it, right? And then he would DM me after. He would DM me after the fight, like you need to work on your hands, or like I don't know. But then I ended up becoming cool with him. I ended up being okay with him. He invited me to come to NPR. I went to NPR, and then I left NPR, and then I got super fat, and I was DMing him for a little bit. I was telling him I was happy for him because he found all the success and stuff with the pad holding or the striking coach or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, why don't you come back? And I came back, and then he just started getting weird. Like he would always start bringing up that fight again. And I was just like, dude, this guy's weird. And I don't know, maybe he doesn't hate me, but it's just weird when he's going.
Maybe y'all need to have a Rocky 3 moment.
We did. So listen to this. So we did. We had one in the beginning when I first came to NPR, and then when I was super fat, we had one. And this is where I started not to like him because, he's training all the time at that point, holding pads, and I'm sure he's sparring and doing other stuff. I just came back. I just rolled off the couch, 322 pounds. Dude, I throw one punch, I'm gassed, right? He's throwing flying knees at my face. He's throwing elbows at my face, like nothing, like no pads, no nothing on there. I'm like, where is this all coming from? It all stems from that fight. He hates that I beat him in that fight. It's insane, dude. It's insane what happens. Any fight that I've lost, I'm like, what is what it is. This guy hates me for it. I don't know, dude. Maybe he'll DM me and we can be friends again. I don't know.
I think time heals all wounds in some senses. Hopefully.
Not with that guy.
You never know, man. Hopefully, you guys can find some common ground. Like I said, maybe take a few more rounds behind some closed doors and just see if you can beat him out of each other. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm not. I don't think I'm welcome there, man. Unfortunately, it's a shame because I really liked everybody there. It just didn't work out the second time. You know what I mean? So, and then I went back to Martinez, and I'm grateful because I met I already knew Kyle and Chris, but I went there and I just trained, and they could tell that I really wanted it, and and I proved myself to them, and I'm their one of their besides each other, I'm their main training partner. And I train with them all the time, and as much crap as I talk, I don't want any enemies, dude. I want to get along with everybody in there and stuff like that, but I'm just tired of the cheap shots, and they and it almost seems like they when I say they, I'm really talking about Justin, I guess, but it just seems like he wants it to get back to me, and meanwhile, dude, I'm never talking about you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird circumstances. I know I'm getting a DM after this, dude, but maybe I don't. Maybe I do, but hopefully it's a good DM. You never know.
Hey, listen, you know what I mean? You can only be honest, and however people take it, people take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I wish nothing for the best for all of them, but
I mean, I think they're all doing great. Obviously, you got they got Eddie involved, and they got a big old new facility down there. So, you know, I was there for the grand opening. It was pretty cool. I heard Frankie's going to be there every so often coaching and things
yeah,
of
that's
that.
great for them. Like Daniel Cormier going, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Daniel Cormier.
especially for like the young kids in the area who wanna learn more wrestling and be able to work with Daniel, pick his brain a little bit
Can't get
because
any higher than Daniel Cormier.
yeah, Daniel's retired now, but he still does, like, he's very heavy into kids wrestling. I know, like, he has programs where, like, they send kids over to Dagestan to have them work with the Khabib level guys of the world, and it's it's good that you have guys that were at Daniel's level that consistently sticks with the collegiate level wrestling and giving back to the younger kids, because not a lot of guys do that. Like we were just talking about, like, not a lot of people talk great about Matt Hughes, and not a lot of people, like, not a lot of these guys tend to do the I guess the seminar and giving back route when they're done. So, like, when you see guys like Daniel do stuff like that, and not just do that, but like workout programs to find ways to get these kids into the hands of some of the better level wrestling and sambo guys of the world, it's good to see.
Yeah, they definitely got a good program over there, man. It just like it just didn't work out for me. There was nobody.
Yeah.
There was nobody there my size. Like, I was 322 pounds, and I was starting to slim down a little bit, but there just wasn't anybody really there my size, and it just didn't work out. I don't know how else to say it.
Listen, sometimes it does boil down to having, like, people you can relate to, and having people in your weight class that you can work with and things like that. Sometimes personalities don't mix, and I think you obviously found your home there with Martinez. So I
Listen,
just
Will always says it. Will, I'm the most annoying dude in the world. All right. I'm an annoying dude, but that's just in my blood, dude. But like, I care. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's why he likes me so much, because I'm a very loyal dude and I care a lot, and I'm a headache, as my uncle said. I've been nothing but a headache since the day I was born. But at the end of the day, like, I try to treat everybody with respect as much as I can. Sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble. I don't feel like I said anything wrong about the NPR thing. I don't. But sometimes the pro wrestler comes out and I say some crazy stuff. But nah, dude, I don't know. You can only make so many people happy, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna make some people mad, dude. Me just saying hello to you is probably gonna make somebody mad. You know what I mean?
I'm sure we'll all get messages of some sort. And listen, I just laugh people off anymore.
Listen, I just want to fight, bro. I just want to fight.
Listen, I just want to see you perform at this point in time, man. Like, listen, I want to see you. I want to see you do your thing. I want to see you get a win, because I want to hear what you're gonna say if they get a chance to get a microphone near you.
Listen, I love the mic time, but sometimes I get too crazy in there, dude. Like my last fight in West Virginia 3 weeks ago, I just started cursing at the dude for no reason. I just TKO'd the dude, and I went AWOL in there, dude. Sometimes I go crazy in there. I'm a loose cannon. They should call me a loose cannon. But like when I was doing the West Virginia fight, they were like, he's getting mauled, dude. They kept calling me a bear. They were like, where did they find this bear at? And then, like, when I posted it, everybody was like DMing me like, oh, that's perfect. You're a bear. And I didn't want to call myself the polar bear, because that would take the nickname from Cole Conrad. my favorite Bellator heavyweight of all time. There's a name that a lot of people won't know.
Yeah,
But
unless you were a true MMA fan at the time and watched Bellator religiously outside of watching for Eddie Alvarez, then you would
see,
not.
I
Would
was a
you
big
not know?
MMA fan, Steven. I was a real big MMA fan. Cole
Yeah,
Conrad,
especially
man, the
you
Boulder
dropping
man.
Cold Conrad on me, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude,
So
I remember how much MMA I used to watch in the early. Like, dude, I remember, like I think Muna Holland was one of the first people who had a female fight for Bellator.
okay, I don't know her name, but that's a
They,
pretty crazy name drop there.
yeah.
So there's a game I play, right? There's a game I play. I'm gonna sound like a total nerd, right?
Oh, let's nerd out. Do what was it? A PC or is it
Yeah.
you're a PC gamer? Okay.
So there's two versions of it. There's one for MMA and there's one for pro wrestling. So basically, you run a pro wrestling company. Like you can run WWE, you can go back in the 90s and you can recreate like the Monday Night Wars, and you can run WCW the way you thought it should be run. You can run WWF the way you thought it should be run. And you can do the same thing for the UFC. So I'll name drop the game. The pro wrestling version is called TEW. Okay. And then the MMA version is called WMMA. And I play both of them. And I really like business a lot. And I was telling Mike Bickings about this game because he owns Art of War, and I was telling him how I play this game, and I was like, I think I can run an MMA company. I just need the funds. I was like, I just need the funds to do it. But in that game, like if you play like 2009 for the MMA game, like I'm playing a Strike Force right now for 2009. I think I'm in like 2000, almost 11 playing. But like you see a lot of those names, and like for example, like if you play 2020, which one am I on? I think I'm like 2022 or something like that. You see Kyle Dawkins' name in there. You see Will Martinez's name in there. You see Chris Dawkins' name in there. You see Jonathan Webb. You see Pat Sabatini. You see all these guys. It's a text simulated game. I don't watch the fights. I just skip over. I play for the business aspect to grow the company and stuff like that. Same thing for TEW. Like you're playing 1990, you're gonna see like some dude that's around here, like locally around here in the game. You know what I mean? So I know most of these friggin' fighters' names, dude. Just like I haven't even seen them fight, but I just from going to the free agents and just scouring like who can I sign, like what undefeated fighter can I take from here. It's kind of how I am with this game, though. But I play like as soon as we're off, dude, I'm jumping on that game, dude.
Well, that leads me into the next one because we were sort of kind of already talking about this. So obviously, you want to do the business aspect of it. So say you got your funds. Where would you base out of? What would you call it if you had your own combat sports company? And would
Eventually,
it just be MMA?
oh man, eventually I would like to do that. I would either like to own one or be a matchmaker for one, like when I'm done fighting, because I love matching the fights and stuff. I don't want to tell the real name I would use because then someone will steal it. But for a pro wrestling company, I always wanted to use ACW, and it actually became a real thing. I came up with this name in like 2008. It became a thing. It's called. I was going to call it Assault Championship Wrestling, and I was going to base it off of like ECW style of wrestling, not like that crazy death stuff you see now, but like ECW like style, like where it could be like hardcore, and then it could be like Dean Malenko versus like Chris Benoit, right? Like real wrestling, right? So I would obviously base it where I'm from. That way I don't gotta go that far or drive that far. But MMA, dude, like if I had enough funds, I would try to make it kind of like CFFC because I feel like you can't compete with the UFC. They're just too freaking high above, you know. But if I could convince somebody like Elon Musk, like, hey, you just give me $1 billion and I'll run this thing right to the freaking sky. I mean, but you got to have a bunch of like you take Tony Khan for example, bro. That dude has no idea what he's doing with wrestling, bro. I don't care what anybody says, dude. That AEW is garbage. It's so hard to watch. It's unbearable to watch. I don't know how anybody watches that. Like even like when I'm scrolling, because I told you I don't watch wrestling really. So I'm like right up as soon as I see AEW because I already know it's gonna be bad. I already know it's gonna be bad, dude. But like I feel like you gotta have the right team, and I think he's a perfect example of just having the wrong people around him. Yeah, and I mean somebody needs to tell that guy, listen, you don't know how to book wrestling. And like if I was him, dude, I would have hired somebody. I would have hired Jim Cornette. Not that like I think he's really stuck in the old ways a lot, but like he at least has good opinions on stuff. I would have hired somebody like him. I would not hire Vince Russo. Everything he touches goes to friggin' down the toilet, dude. I like how he books, but there's anywhere he goes is just bad. Like it doesn't ever work out. But I would have hired Eric Bischoff. I would have him deal with like the networks and the executive stuff. And I would really have Cornette be my right hand man. I think with a lot of things for sure. There's a bunch of people though. Like I know Bruce Pritchard's in WWE, but he would be one of them. Now that the McMahons are at a WWE, I probably would have hired Shane a long time ago. I probably would hire Vince as a consultant. I think Vince, I don't care what the heck's going on with Vince. I'm going to kick a lot of crap for this, but he's the greatest promoter of all time. I don't care what anything ever goes. He's better than Dana White. He's better than anybody in boxing. It just doesn't even come close to Vince McMahon. It just doesn't, dude. He sold fake wrestling. He convinced hillbillies in Alabama that wrestling was real.
And then you have the Buffalo Bills fan base consistently jumping through tables.
Are they really?
Yeah, at their tailgates, that's what they do.
Well, I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan, then. You just made me a big Buffalo Bills fan. Now I'm going to watch every game and support.
Yo, seriously, go when you get off here, Google Buffalo Bills tailgates. That's what you're going to see is knuckleheads jumping through tables.
That's insane. Why do they do that?
I guess that's their thing. I mean, you got to think that upper area of New York has always been really big pro wrestling. So is it that much of a surprise?
Well, I mean, like my thing's eating steak, so I mean, whatever. Hats off to you. I'm still eating the steak, dude. I got 2 pieces left.
You better send me some, brother. What the
fuck? Left, dude. I ate probably like 2 pounds of steak.
Oh man, I just realized we've been on here for an hour. Well, I guess Mark didn't pick up his phone to realize that I said, "Well, it's cool, hop on." But
I'm back.
The show's called Parting Shot. So I guess as we wrap this thing up here, I'm going to throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you want to thank, you want to give a shout out to, shoot out your socials, any sponsors you might have. Anything special that you're working on or anything you want to get across to people. The time is yours, my friend.
I don't know how I want to. Whoa, you put me like right on here.
Yeah, there you go, brother.
I don't know. I guess I always shout my sponsors out all the time. Like Capital Lending and Roman Delight, Pizza. And I'm still like negotiating some, so I don't want to shout them out yet, just because I want to make sure that they're on board. Obviously all my kids and my girl, the Dawkins brothers, Will Martinez BJJ. I know I'm crazy, but I mean well. I guess the last thing I could say is that no matter who says, because we talked a lot about like a lot of crap, and you're leaving me here wanting to be a little motivational, I guess. When I first came back, like 2 years ago, not a lot, I never talked about this like on any interviews or anything like that. The former athletic director, Greg Serby, denied my fight license. He so I went. Everybody always commends me for losing all the weight, for being 322 pounds. I got hit with a huge other obstacle that no one knows about. Greg Serb denied me my license and basically told me I had to go fight somewhere else if I ever wanted to fight in PA again. And I thought it was over. I thought it was done. And I didn't think I was gonna have another chance to fight again, and I thought I was gonna have to go get a job and start working again because I left a job where I was making some serious okay money, and to come do this, to just barely, just honestly just to get by, basically. It's not like we struggle, but like it's not like we have money like we used to either. And when he denied me, I thought it was over, but I told myself we got to figure this out, and we're gonna figure this out. And I kept pushing myself, and I just kept being positive, and Serb stepped down, and I like Serb a lot. A lot of people didn't really care for him too much, but he was always good to me. That was the first time, and even when he denied me, I didn't hate him or anything. I just told myself I just got to prove it to him. But then I didn't know he was going to step aside, and then when he stepped aside, I called Ed Kunkel, the new athletic director, and I pleaded my case. I told him, I said, listen, I'm 29 years old. I don't think this is the right thing to do. I said, there's fighters out there that are 0-10 and 2-25 and whatever, and they're still fighting. And I was like, and they're older than me. I said, Mr. Kunkel, I could see if I was 38 years old, and with this record, I could see us having that conversation that it is over. But I was like, I don't think it is over, Mr. Kunkel. And once I played I said that in so many words. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I never really thanked him. So this is my way of thanking him if he does see this. I thanked him personally and to his face, but never like this. And he gave me a 10-second pause. And then he said, Lex, I totally agree with what you're saying. He was like, I'd rather you fight here from where you're from than go fight somewhere else and, possibly get hurt or anything like that. And he was like, I'm going to approve you and we're going to go from here. And, the first fight I did was a little get my feet wet. I fought this extremely overweight guy. It was pretty much a guaranteed win. And, I went out there and knocked him out in 10 seconds. And I don't feel any type of way about that fight. I didn't prove anything to myself or, it was just to get my feet wet to get the cobwebs off. And, when I fought Cam Graham, I beat him up for about a round and a half. And he had a ton of experience. Again, not that he doesn't have the greatest record, but, he's got over 40 fights with his amateur record too. And Ed came up to me as soon as the fight was over, and he commended how much I've gotten better and how much I improved. And, he said that if I keep pushing, he thinks I could do something with it, And I just want to thank Ed because Ed gave me the chance. And I don't think, I always thank the Dawkins brothers because, but truth be told, without them, I wouldn't be here. But really, if it wasn't for Ed, I never would be wouldn't even be doing this interview right now. So if Ed ever sees this, man, I really hope that makes him feel good about himself because, Ed's a great guy. I've known Ed for a long time. And, I think I really commend him for doing that because it really changed my life around because I'm really happy now, dude. People are just going to see what I said about Justin, run with that. And, like me just talking about it and run with that. But, I got no ill will towards anybody. I hope everybody does good in life. I want everybody to do great. And I don't know. Now I'm like breaking character and I'm just being myself. This is not going too well for me here, Steven.
No, man. I think that's good, man. You showed us all sides of the coin, and I think this is kind of like the fun thing that I like to do when I do these is just kind of get down to a normal conversation. Like, yeah, we're going to talk fighting. We'll talk about life, and we're sitting there talking about our girls, our kids, things like that. Like, get down to the nitty gritty instead of the same 5 questions that every combat sports reporter asks. Like, okay, let's be like that. Let me get your Mount Rushmore of fighters, Lex.
Every interview that I've done leading up to this, it's always there's a segment about the Dawkins brothers because they know I train with them. And, I was joking with Chris and Kyle about it. like last week, I was like, from now on, anybody that asks me about you guys, I'm like, I never even heard of those guys. Who are those guys? Like, I was like saying that, and they were laughing about that.
Bust their interviews up because they're just trying to get clicks off of their names.
Well, yeah, well, Chris and Kyle are not like me. I'm very brash. I like to do interviews because I like to run my mouth. I like the attention. Dude, I've always liked the attention. I like the attention. And they're the opposite. They don't like to do that stuff. They like to work in silence, as opposed where I like to work in silence. I don't like to reveal what I'm doing, but I like to let people know I'm working. That's all it is. Like that Connor McKenna guy, he's probably YouTubing my name every day, man, because I blocked him on Instagram. I hit him with the block button, man. I don't really block too many people, but I hit him with the block button because every time I would post, bro, he would be like one of the first people to look. And I thought to myself, I said, man, it would kill him if you can't look at it. If you can't look me up, I was like, it would kill him deep down, dude. He'd be dying. So I hit him with the block button, bro.
It's the beautiful thing about it because you have that wrestling mentality. So you gotta play mind games all the way through.
Oh, dude, we're gonna play a little mind games when I see him too. I hope he's ready for it. You know what I mean? Even when we're in there, like you laugh at me, I'm gonna spit in your face when we're fighting, dude. I'm not joking.
All right, all right. So I had the pleasure of actually being able to cover Knucklemania. So, what a mutual friend of mine, she couldn't make it, and she needed somebody to help with media. So I was there front row for the cannoli slap, right?
Right.
Are you gonna do something crazy like that, or you just got some words for the man?
I don't know, because at the end of the day, I represent Will and I represent the Dawkins brothers, so I don't.
You got to hold a certain level of decorum, right?
Maybe I'll have a little discussion with them before, but like I know Chris doesn't care what I do, and I'm sure Will don't care what I do either. But I think Kyle, because I'm really really close with Kyle too, so Kyle might be the one with the issue with it, but at least I will address what was done. You know what I mean? And then I'll have to address the elephant in the room, which is his stomach. And then I will just say to him this too. I'm a big MMA nerd. And as soon as the fight was offered to me, I tapologied his record because I just wanted to see if he was a boxer, if he was an MMA fighter. I do want to ask him why he was a 6-2 amateur fighting 0-0 guys. I do want to ask him that. I want to ask him what he was so insecure about. 6-2, fighting debuters and fighting 0-2ers, like 5-2. I don't know, man. This makes me think that you don't really believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Bro, I look guys up like that and I say easy wins. But I'm going to tell you what I told the guy in the last interview I did. He's lucky that this isn't an MMA fight because it wouldn't even go around if it was an MMA fight. Fortunately enough for him, this is a limited fight with a limited rule set. Okay? Yeah, it's bare knuckle. It's barbaric. It's savage. But you're taking away my biggest weapon. Okay? Which is my wrestling. I don't know, dude. If he hits me hard enough, he might go flying over them ropes.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, dude. You hit me hard enough, you might go for a ride. You might get a high crotch right to the ceiling, my man. I don't know. I just tell myself, I'm going to fight like I'm going to obey by the rules, but just know, my friend, and I hope he watches it, just know this isn't a real fight. It just isn't. In a street fight, my man, you get hit and the guys grapple each other right away. It just happens. What happens? That's a real fight. A street fight's a real fight. The closest thing to a real fight, in my opinion, is mixed martial arts. I love BKFC. I'll fight for BKFC. But Connor McKenna, I don't know, man. You like the picture of my woman, and I did not like that very much. Might have to get a little open hand slap. I'm not sure. I don't know yet.
Didn't that not go well for the last person to do that? Didn't
I'm not that guy.
Didn't
Not
Jay
that guy.
Davis just eat one? Just eat one and then put him out fairly easily.
I'm not that guy, pal. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, pal.
All right.
But what did
brother.
that guy say? What did that reel say? He was like, did he say I'm that guy, or did he say I'm not that guy, pal? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what that guy said. That was awesome. I like that guy. Not that guy, pal. Not that guy. But he might be a cool dude. But it was just maybe I don't know. Maybe he did it to be nice. I don't know. But it was just awkward. Like, bro, before I even got offered the fight, the guy followed me on Instagram. I knew I was fighting the guy before I even got offered the fight. And then sure enough, they were like, "Hey, how do you feel about fighting this guy?" And I was like, "Holy crap, he's fat! Another fat guy to fight. Great." That's what happened with the code or what's his name, Cam Graham. Dude, like I was like manhandling him and stuff like that. The dude doesn't even punch me for a round and a half. Doesn't even land a punch to my face. And then I just got tired from just throwing blubber around. I'm not saying I'm a skinny guy, but like, how do you fight and let yourself look like that? It's insane. Like oh my god! And then I was so tired. I was so gassed, man, from throwing him around. And then he laid on me for the whole third round. Like it wasn't even like, bro. I took him down. We're just talking now, dude. So whatever. I took him down, dude, and I was talking to him because I always talk to them when I'm in there, right? Oh, got a few words in there for him. You know what I'm saying? I take him down, and I was like, "You tired yet? You tired yet?" Like I kept saying it to him because he's a big freaking fat dude, right? And he was like, "Why don't you let me up and stand with me?" I said, "Absolutely not, buddy." I laughed at him like that too. I was like, "Nah, we're good, dude. We're gonna stay down here. We're gonna play a little bit. 3 minutes of play time." You know what I mean? Like,
You're playing the sandbox a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So like, the one thing I will say about Connor McKenna, like he does bring it. Like he is a tough son of a gun. Like he can fight. But I don't know. Like I've really been working on my boxing for the last 2 years, brother. Like I probably only shot like 10 takedowns in the sparring sessions. You know what I mean? And in the last 2 years, I probably shot 10 takedowns in the last. I'm not even lying, dude. That's a true statement, dude. I don't even wrestle in these friggin' sparring sessions anymore, and it sucks when you're sparring a guy like Kyle Dawkins, dude. He knocked me out 3 times in one camp, dude. Not like knocked me, not like stiff as a board, but like just dropped me, dude. He is a phenomenal fighter, bro. But Connor McKenna ain't Kyle Dawkins. I'll tell you that right now, brother. He ain't Kyle Dawkins, dude. He ain't Kyle Dawkins. You know what I'm saying?
Who's winning what?
Who's winning, dude? Marco Savala. Who are you? Who are you, dude?
Who's winning
Who are
what?
you? I'll win. I'm gonna win. That's who's gonna win. Marco Savala. Marco Savala. If I saw you, I'd smack you right in your face, just like Cody McKenna. How about that? Now there's a little heel turn for you. I went from face to turn. How many times can you see that, my friend? How many times can you see a triple turn? I started as a heel, I turned face, and then I went heel again. How many times can you see that, my friend? Huh? I can do it all. I can do it all.
Brother. Yes, you can. But almost been on there an hour and a half, kicking it over here with with Mr. Lex Ludlow. Obviously, we didn't get Marc. I'm gonna try to make sure I can connect you two because considering how much of a fan you've revealed to me to be of his. So I want to see
the first fight I watched him fight was at UFC. I was going to tell him this too. UFC 100, him versus Stephan Bonnar, and it wasn't even televised, dude. I remember we were watching the freaking pay-per-view, and we were like, "What's all this blood from?" And it was from Stephan Bonnar and Marc Coleman. And then I believe I didn't look this up, dude, but I feel like I'm going to be right. I am right. Oh my god, it popped in my head. I can almost name you at least a fight from UFC 98 to like a certain pay-per-view. UFC 109, I believe it was UFC 109 Relentless, main event, Randy Couture versus Marc Coleman. And I want to say Matt Serra was on it. I think it was Matt Serra versus Chris Lytle, too, was on it. And, dude, Mark, that was the first time.
Chris Lytle when we're talking about bloody out. His fight with Josh Koscheck, he was just leaking Chris Lytle.
Chris Lytle, I think he commentates for BKFC, doesn't he?
He's one of the commentators, but he's also one of the talent guys behind the scenes when they're doing
the scouts.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that, by the way. I didn't have to do that. Raise your hand if you didn't have to do it. Me. Hello.
So you got lucky. You didn't have to go to the open workout tryout type thing to kind of get a gauge of who's in the area. So there you go.
Bro, we don't do that, dude. We don't do that. They call us. That's how that works, bro. we earn our things. But how funny would it be if I go to shake Chris Lytle's hand and just smack Connor McKenna right in the face? How funny would that be? I'm probably not gonna smack him, dude. I'm probably just gonna run my mouth to him and like hopefully he pushes me and I laugh at him and then go like this to him. And when I go like this to him, I mean he's got a small pecker.
Well, one thing is for sure, Lex is a man of multiple different personalities. He's shown us quite a few here tonight.
It's bipolar. That's what it is. It's bipolar, brother.
Bipolar, ADHD, hyperactive disorders. We all got them all, brother.
Yeah, dude. I showed you the good and the bad.
The good, the bad, all in between.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's where my walkout song comes from, bro. My walkout song is from the good, the bad, and the ugly. So there you go. That should have been my nickname. The good, the bad. Yeah, maybe I'll change my Instagram handle when we get off this. The good or the bad. Nah.
well, Lex, it was a pleasure catching up with you, brother, and taking us down the multiple personality road, talking everything else in between. Best of skill to you coming up in this fight. Hopefully you're able to get on the mic and do your thing too as well after the fact. And do it again sometime and have some fun, my friend.
One last thing I want to say. You interviewed me back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
And I think I got mad at you because you had Rich Franklin on, I think.
Yeah, earlier. Yeah, it was. You were one of the back end guys after. I had him on. Yeah.
And you went over, and then I just cut a promo on Rich Franklin.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I think I did.
No, you're not wrong. You're dead freaking right on that, brother.
I was like, Rich Franklin sucks. I was like, who the hell wants to interview Rich Franklin? I was like, he don't even fight anymore. I was like, put me in there.
Yeah, it was when he just started working with one. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and you interviewed him. Yeah, I always tell people about that. Yeah. Screw Rich Franklin. I still don't like Rich Franklin over that.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I more than made up for it this time. We're almost like an hour.
Well, Marc Coleman was supposed to be on, so I figured I'd give you and your people some something to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It was definitely fun catching up with you, brother. We definitely got to do it again. And like I said, I want to try to link you up with Marc, man. See if we can actually get him to walk you out for one of your fights.
No, we're gonna get him to walk me out in 2 weeks. I will tell him this. I'll pay for his hotel. I'll pay. He ain't getting no nice hotel. He ain't getting no nice hotel, dude. I'll pay for the hotel. I'll pay for the flight. I ain't paying for no appearances. I ain't that rich, dude. I ain't that rich. I reached out to Mr. Kennedy to walk me out. Mister! I reached out to him, dude. Dude, he wanted $4,000. He wanted $4,000. I said, I was like, well, let me break the bank for you there, pal. No, you ain't walking me out then, pal. As simple as that. Nobody even remembers who you are, dude.
Oh man.
All right, you can cut it. I'm sorry, dude.
It's not a problem. Lex, it's a pleasure, man. Everyone, we'll be back at some point next week. We'll be making some announcements. This was the opening night here for the parting shot, and we'll be back here on the JB Sports Network here with Just Blaze Clothing. Catch you guys later.